real terrorist?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I would go as far as to say it would be just like the parables of the tares and the wheat. There's your real terrorists, or the fake Edomites, trying to pretend to be God's chosen and justifying this war that's killing off our men and women.
Well, let me read you something, and then I'm going to ask that question again about who's the terrorist. This was written by Adrian Salbucci. He is a political analyst. He's an author, a speaker, a radio, TV commentator in the nation of Argentina. He put this out on October 25, 2013, not long ago. All right? Now listen carefully, everybody. The question is, who are the real terrorists? And this is what he wrote. He wrote, "It's definitely not good news nowadays for any country to be classified a rogue state by the U.S.-led hegemonic Western powers, for it will not only cost you billions in cash and economic hardship, but millions of lives as well." That continues to be the between-the-lines message to the world from the U.S. hardliners, that's the Jew neocons, with their, quote, "you're either with us or against us" rhetoric. A decade ago, Iraq was branded a rogue state. Today, moderate estimates speak of an Iraqi death toll of 500,000 men, women, and children since the 2003 invasion and the Civil War. Iraq is clearly the most famous rogue state. If we are led to believe the two Bushes that were president, especially the junior Bush, who rammed into that country in 2003, all but destroying it, maiming its people, and the proud 5,000-year-old heritage, all based on an outward lie, the infamous, quote, "weapons of mass destruction" they were accused of hiding, but that were never found.
Yeah.
And in those days of hysterical mainstream Jewish control media, warmongering, George W., Tony Blair, and their henchmen had their way bombing the country to smithereens. A decade on, we learned from a report just published in the Public Library of Science Medicine Journal that, based on household samplings, an estimated 500,000 men, women, and children have been killed in Iraq since the invasion. A moderate estimate, since others go significantly higher, that take the report from The Lancet, one of the world's oldest medical journals, which published 2 peer-reviewed studies, the latest in 2006, putting the figure in excess of 650,000, or the ORB, the Opinion Research Business, an independent polling agency in London, England, which in 2007 published a study estimating a total Iraqi war fatalities between 2003 and 2007 at over 1.2 billion men, women, and children. All because Bush, Blair, and their allies got it all wrong about Saddam's weapon of mass destruction. And in fact, George W. Bush said, quote, "we never found them," unquote, who then went on to joke about the whole affair during a White House dinner in March of 2004. Clearly, blatant genocide and war crimes committed by the West's top leaders in broad daylight, over which nobody seems to be responsible. No one was ever made accountable. No one ever bothered to apologize to Iraq or to the world. Adrian Salbucci, the political analyst, author, speaker, radio, TV commentator of Argentina, October 25, 2013. Who are in America the real terrorists, Pastor Visor?
I'd say that'd be our government, fighting everybody's wars and going and sticking their nose in business that has nothing to do with them.
And the Jew neocons.
Absolutely, at the very tip top. And it is ironic how old Barry Schwartz was saying he would withdraw those troops after 30 days of becoming president, and he never did. And no one even calls him on his lies either, probably out of fear of him playing the race card.
Well, you know, they're a country that has done nothing to you. They admitted Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11. And then someone says, but they got all this natural gas and oil, and we want it. And who are the ones that love money as their god, Pastor Weiser?
Oh, yeah, that'd be the Jew.
Yeah, and they said, well, we got to make a plan here and pretend this guy's got something really nasty. You see, Iraq at one time did have weapons of mass destruction. They got into a terrible gas biochemical war with Iran, but no one wants to tell the American people that when Daddy Bush was director of the CIA, those biochemical weapons being supplied to Iraq were produced in Boca Raton, Florida, and given to the Iraqis to be used on Iran. We don't want to talk about those war crimes.
Yeah, we gave them the weapons to go and blow the hell out of their country.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about those war crimes, do we, Pastor Weiser? And yet, because we have live radio and we bring out the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, they look upon us with their agency dogs that they sick on people that were the problem in this country, Pastor Weiser?